Today I'm going to show you how I make homemade raw Greek yogurt with my Instant Pot that does not have a yogurt button. Alright, let's get started. First, this is one that I made last week and I'm going to show you. I use wide mouth jars because that makes putting the yogurt in there easier and getting the yogurt out a lot easier. Now you'll notice that this is, some of there is usually a liquid that is some of the whey on top, and even with store-bought yogurt, and you just want to mix that up a little bit. Now I do not like my yogurt lumpy, so I'm going to show you a little trick that I do so it is not. Now the yogurt that I'm going to show you has already been, it's already set for like 24 hours. It has already been strained for about 24 hours. So the whey is all already off of it, and I just have the Greek part left, and I'm going to show you that. Now what I do is I have an Instant Pot that does not have a yogurt button. Mine is just a plain old basic Instant Pot. And what I do is I put my gallon of milk inside my insert. I set it to saute, and I let that come up to about 100 degrees. If you have fresh raw milk, you really don't have to do too much to it, because I believe it's pretty close to that when it's fresh. But I buy mine from a local place. I usually separate mine, so I do not use the whole milk. I separate my cream off the next day or so after I get the milk and let the cream line form. I separate my cream off, and then I use what's left, I guess you could call the skim milk, and I use it to make my yogurt. So that way I can use the cream to make butter, I can make ice cream with the cream, and I can still use all parts of the milk, but I'm actually getting more out of the milk instead of just using the whole milk for the yogurt. Now if you want whole milk yogurt, then of course you just want to not take the cream off and you want to make the yogurt with the whole milk. But I make, because I want more things out of my milk, I make butter, then I have buttermilk, and then I also have the skim milk, I guess you could say, to make my yogurt. So I put 1 gallon of my skimmed off milk in this pot. I saute it until it reaches about 100 degrees, and then I shut off the saute, but I do leave it in here, and then I add some of my starter yogurt. So what you'll want to do is you want to leave a little bit of your yogurt. You don't want to use it all, or you will have to buy some more yogurt from the store to start your next batch. Now I use more than recommended. Some people use a couple of tablespoons. I use a good half a cup or more. You know, if I have a little bit left in here, I just go ahead and clean this out. If I have half a cup, maybe even sometimes, like, I probably don't use a full cup, but a good half a cup of yogurt that I have, I go ahead and put all that in. And what I do is I get a measuring cup and I pull some of it out. I put the half a cup of yogurt in there, whisk it up really good so it's not lumpy, and then I pour it back in there and give it a little bit of whisk so that it is good and mixed. Then I just unplug my Instant Pot because it doesn't need to be on. I put my lid on it, lock it, seal it, and set it to the side for like a good day. I let mine sit for 24 hours usually. I have set up before, like if I do it that morning and late that evening get it out, or if I do it that evening and then the next day. But usually I sometimes halfway forget about it, so it usually sets for a good 24 hours. After that, I take this out, I put some foil over it, and I put it after it's set, and then I set it in the refrigerator for at least a few hours. A lot of times it's the next day until I get it out and strain it, or a couple of days. It will stay good in there for a few days. Then I get it out, and what I have is, which you'll see this, it's called a nut bag. A milk nut bag, I'm not sure, but it has a drawstring. It's very, very fine mesh. So I actually put all of my yogurt in this. I set it in my strainer, and then I have another bowl that is a little bit smaller than that, and I put it in that, and then I set it back in the refrigerator, and I let that drain as much as I want. You can drain some of the whey off, you can just leave it. I usually leave it for another day. You could leave it for a few hours. A few hours is recommended if you do want the Greek style yogurt, but I usually, like I said, I'm busy. I like this because it doesn't require like a specific amount of time for me that I have found. I can set it in the refrigerator. Like I put it in there yesterday and I pulled it out today, and I'm going to put it in the jars, and then I'm going to show you my little trick for getting nice smooth yogurt so you don't have the lumps in it that sometimes forms. So let's get this out of the way. And again, I recommend wide mouth jars. If you don't have the wide mouth and you just have the regular, that's perfectly fine. You just need a funnel. It just makes this next step easier with the wide mouth jars. All right, so wide mouth and your funnel, you're going to want a spoon to get the yogurt out, and then we're going to pull this out and probably make a little bit of a mess on the counter. You'll be able to see it. See how it's kind of lumpy, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. See how it's kind of lumpy? Okay, so you're just going to put that in there, and we're going to, that's why I'm going to show you my little trick about not having lumpy yogurt, because nobody wants lumpy yogurt. Now you don't want to fill this jar if you're doing my little secret, my little trick for smoother yogurt. You don't want to fill this jar completely full quite yet, because you are going to need some room. So if you fill it about about an inch below the line, so a couple inches down, to make sure that you can put the stick blender in there. And then you're going to fill your other jar. Now when I do a gallon of milk and I make yogurt, I usually get 2 quart jars full after I blend them up, and I usually get 2 jars full and then some. So then I have enough for to go ahead and put in a bowl and have a little snack if I want. I've had really good luck. I've had really good luck with this yogurt. This raw milk yogurt doesn't cause any issues for me, which is great. Alright, so I do have, like I said, I have a little bit left, and then you can usually just kind of tip the bag over. Alright, so I will put the rest of that yogurt in a bowl and put my stick blender in there. First we gotta wash these hands off. Alright, so here's my trick. I have my stick blender, which I absolutely love. If you do not have one of these, I highly recommend getting one. They come in so handy for making soups. I mean, you could actually use them what they're supposed to be for making drinks and smoothies. I don't know that I've used them like that before, but doing yogurt, I do mayonnaise with it, all kinds of things, and they're not that expensive. It'd be a great Christmas gift. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the stick, let me move that one so I don't get my cord in it. We're gonna put the stick blender in here, and we're just gonna mix it up until we get the consistency that we want. Show you the difference in the consistency. One is nice and smooth, and one is still kind of lumpy. I know, I would rather eat this one. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do the other one, and then we will put more in this one, because of course these jars can hold more. So let's get this one done. In that jar. Alright, we're just going to clean these off. right, so now we can go ahead and we'll top this jar off. So that one's good. That one can have a lid after we clean it off a little bit. So this one needs a little bit more, and I think I can actually put the rest of this in there. Let's see. Let's see if it'll fit. I think it will. Probably will, but I'm probably not going to have enough room to actually blend it. Yeah, that's the problem. So I should have stuck with my original and put it in the bowl and mixed it up. But that is how I make nice, creamy, raw Greek yogurt. All right, I forgot one thing. So if you can find these white lids, I highly recommend them. I love them. I actually found these at Walmart just the other day. They have the wide mouth and the regular mouth. I got my original ones on Amazon. I had never seen them before, but at Walmart they had them. So I was really excited because these work, but these are two separate pieces. And you don't ever just want to use these all the time, especially right now with the shortage that's going on in canning lids. So these are great. Absolutely great.